Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Munce Report. Well, he's got his flippers on. He's had the snorkel out. Trainer Chris Munce joins us from a very wet Brisbane. How's things, mate? I guess it's been a bit of a challenging week for the camp with these really wet conditions hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, it's been probably frustrating more than anything, Adam. We've got horses ready to go and sort of ready to race, but obviously wet tracks have put a kibosh on a few of them there, and we're still just waiting for the rain to clear so as we can get them out and going.
Yeah, we've got a bit of vision here from track work at Eagle Farm this morning where, fair to say, it was raining cats and dogs. In all seriousness, though, can you give us a bit of an insight into what you have to do as a trainer when you're faced with really wet weeks like this where you've got persistent rain and obviously you had jump outs planned, rescheduled from Tuesday to Thursday, but then they didn't go ahead. Just talk us through what you have to do to tweak things when you got the wet weather around like this.
Yeah, well, look, it's just been one of these weeks where everything's sort of been turned upside down with, as we said, with the rain that's come. I mean, we had, as you mentioned, we had jump outs penciled in for Tuesday and then they were transferred to Thursday, but it was still raining this morning, so they were then cancelled. So it sort of puts us a week behind with a few of these younger horses that were meant to be sort of going to the jump outs and trials to get past and fit and everything else. But more importantly, it can affect the program of some of these horses that you need to get good gallops into. You're not able to gallop them the way you would normally like to on these sort of wet mornings. You've got to look after them a little bit, but we still get a bit of maintenance work into them just to keep the ones up to the mark that need it. So it was just one of these mornings, particularly this morning, where there was a hell of a lot of lightning and thunder getting about, and the riders certainly earned their dollars this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say there's nowhere to hide, is there, for the riders and the staff? Obviously, the horses still need to be worked to some degree, and they've just got to front up, don't they?
Yeah, well, they do. I mean, that's what they signed up for, and it's everybody sees on Channel 7. They see all the glitz and glamour of spring racing and all the magic millions and all the good side of it, but. This morning was probably a bit of the reality of it when you got to get down and dirty and the work that's involved. I mean, the riders were absolutely saturated when they came back, and obviously the horses with the lightning and thunder, they had to use all their horsemanship skills until obviously at one point the track was shut for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then reopened. But it was just, look, it doesn't happen all the time, thank goodness, but it was just one of them mornings where you've just got to adapt and do the best you can.
Yeah, well, hats off to everyone for braving the conditions, and fingers crossed they get a bit of drying conditions in the next few days, because there's a big few days of racing coming up, and I guess the weather's the key theme here once again. There's 3 runners accepted for Ipswich on Friday. 2 of those were scratched from Wednesday's meeting. You were trying to obviously get away from the rain in Vital Source and better rush those horses. Ipswich is currently rated a heavy 8, so let's chat through those guys quickly. Obviously, it's all going to be weather dependent, isn't it? But Vital Source has entered for a Fillies and Mares Class 1 handicap over the 1,200 metres and was a really impressive last start winner.
Yeah, well, she's just she's just a mare that's in that category of wet track. As we know, she can't handle it. I've seen enough of her on wet ground to know that she doesn't go a yard in it, so she would be doubtful to go around. I mean, there's always races coming up, so it's a bit of a frustrating time for the owners, but it's just one of those situations where we just have to be patient because we're only going to be wasting a run otherwise.
Sure, and patience is the key. Also with Kavak, you've been waiting for the right race for him. He's entered for a Class 4 plate over the 1,100 Ipswich, but he's also a dual acceptor for Eagle Farm on Saturday. So you're leaning Eagle Farm with him?
I think so at this stage, Adam. Yeah, I mean, look, he's been in work long enough now. He's had a few weeks between runs, as you said, waiting for the right race, but he's drawn poorly most of the time, and wet tracks have also had an effect on where we go with him. So I think for that reason, we'll probably just wait and go to Eagle Farm Saturday, where he's drawn a bit better with the services of Ryan Maloney.
Yeah, Ryan Maloney aboard from Barrier 5. That's a Colt Skeldings and Entice benchmark 75 handicap over the 1,200 metres. The other runner on the Ipswich program is Better Rush, who we mentioned, scratched from Doomben Wednesday, entered for a benchmark 65 over the 800. But same scenario there. Just have to see if the sky's clear.
Yeah, well, she's another one. I mean, every time we run her on a soft track, she hasn't performed up to expectations. So I would say if there's options available to her, we'd probably wait until the weather cleared.
Yeah, sure. She's obviously in form on 2 of her past 3 and drops back from midweek metro level, depending on where she does go. All right, well, let's touch on the rest of the runners on the Eagle Farm program, where you've got the 4 acceptors in total on a massive 10-race card. It's conditions despite all the rain. It's a soft 6 at Eagle Farm, so who knows, could end up even better if the blue skies do arrive. The first runner on the program is Centify, entered for a benchmark 75 over the 1200, and she was a nice third in the Noosa Cup last start and racing well.
Racing really well, this girl. Drawn nicely with Larry Cassidy right again, and she's one that does like Eagle Farm, so she'll put herself on the speed in the first 4 or 5 there. And I think that, with natural improvement, she's certainly going to be hard to hold out. She's in good form, and she's just improved every time she stepped out this preparation.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 3 of her 5 wins have come at the track, so certainly does like Eagle Farm. We then move over to Rhapsody Rose, who's entered for 3-year-old quality over the 1,400 metres. As we discussed last week, you were going to Sydney with her, but elected to stay around, and looks like you found a nice race for her here, and she's a trial winner since her last race start.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a normal race without Rhapsody Rose drawing 9 of 9. So she's out in the boondocks again with a bit of weight on her back. But look, hopefully she can get the right sort of roll forward into the race and be on speed there. You've got a big long back straight there. The 1,400 metre chute probably offsets the barrier to a small degree. And I just think it's a nice race for her. I feel that she's been looking for the 1,400, and she's certainly a quality galloper.
Maybe it's the 2 words, the double R, the Rhapsody Rose, when the computer spits out these barriers. Maybe you might have to change her name. Have you spoken to the Honourable Peter McGowan about that one?
I've asked him, is he going to hold an inquest into it, and he's assured me that he will. So I'm not sure about it, whether the double R or just the 1 R, but I'm sure the R's got something to do with it.
Yeah, there's lots of different theories, isn't there, kicking around with horses that do draw wide consistently. But anyway, we'll leave that one for another day. The final runner on the Eagle Farm program is Stampy, who makes his return to the races in a Class 6 over the 1,000 metres. He's trialled well leading into this and has Jaden Lloyd aboard for the first time.
Yeah, he's going really well. I was surprised the opening prices they put up with him. I didn't think he'd be a $26 pop, but he's just, I suppose the barriers probably forced that a little bit. He's just drawn a little bit awkward, but I think the fact that Jaden's riding very well and he'll take 3 kilos off his back, he should just get the right sort of run back off the speed, and I can assure you he'll be one of the closers that'll be hitting the line pretty strong.
Yeah, some juicy odds about Stampy there. He's still currently $26 with Unibet, and obviously they'll be offering some juicy odds on that for all the Munce Racing customers that are linked to the account. So little each way value there for Stampy. Okay, elsewhere across the weekend, Kitty Kitty Bang Bang is entered for both Saturday at the Gold Coast and Sunday at the Sunshine Coast. Barriers have just come out, but unfortunately she's drawn 14 and 15 at either venue.
Yeah, I'd say she'd be doubtful to go around. Heavy track at the Gold Coast, heavy 10 right now. If the rain keeps coming, they'd probably be even doubtful of running. And then Sunshine Coast, if they get the rain that's expected to, they'd have to be an extremely heavy track on Sunday. So that combined with an outside gate would say that, to me, she'd be doubtful of running.
Yeah, sure. All right, mate. Well, that's the preview. But before we let you go, it's a big weekend of racing action, Caulfield Cup Day and the Everest in Sydney. You tipped us into Animo last week in the Caulfield Guineas as part of the Unibet Punting League. So another tick, another winner there. What have you got for us in the Unibet Punting League this week?
I still think Incentivize can win from an awkward gate, barrier 20. I just think he'll roll forward, make his own luck, be on speed. I think he's been programmed specifically for this race, and he's just one horse with a very high cruising speed that can sustain a good gallop.
Very good. And your other tip? You're sticking closer to home with your other tip?
Oh, I think Rhapsody Rose will run a much better race on Saturday. I think although she's drawn wide with a big weight again, I just think she's a nice 3-year-old filly that's probably got a bit on the rest of the field, and I just think if she can roll to the front and control the race or be on speed at least, she could run a much improved race on Saturday.
Very good. Well, good luck with those, and Unibet will giving everyone some juicy odds on those tips, as well as all the stables runners over the weekend. So make sure you check the vault for all those specials and uplifts. So, okay, mate, well, stay dry. Get the flippers back on. Fingers crossed for some drying conditions over the weekend, and good luck to everyone.
Good on you. Thanks, Adam.